The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. From the hottest issues to trends for our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Leading up to the Oscars, there was so much buzz around this one film.
Yep.
It was kind of expected, but I don't know. Crazy things happened at the Oscars too. Does anyone else remember the whole La La Land situation?
I still cringe every time I think about that.
I think we cringe at a lot of moments, but that was most unfortunate for, I think, both the Moonlight and La La Land team. So things happen on these live shows, including with Element 2, that's infamous slap last year. Yeah, we're trying to move on. There were some excellent news coming out of this year's Oscars. Take us there.
That's right. So it was a major night for Asian and Asian American representation. The film won 7 awards, including one for Best Picture. In fact, this film was the most nominated film of the night. I'm talking about Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. This film is a manic multiverse fantasy. It's about a fractured family that is sort of swept up in an interdimensional adventure. And the film also saw wins besides the Best Picture award. The film took the prize for Best Actress, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Editing, and Best Original Screenplay at the 95th Academy Awards ceremony.
I've got to say, that's a pretty clean sweep.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we saw this overwhelming amount of support for a single movie. And I was just about to add, because a fractured family is not already a very complicated story, they just threw in interdimensional adventure.
Superheroes.
Right. It's exciting, and it's been the talk of the town. The acceptance speeches were incredibly moving, to say the least.
I looked through each and every one of them. You know, I was working, so I couldn't see the Academy Award ceremony itself. I mean, there was a time when I used to really,
watch the 3-hour show
every year.
Pretty
much, yes. Now, Michelle Yeoh is now only the second woman of color to win the Best Actress Oscar. And that's following in the footsteps of Halle Berry back in 2002, which was more than 20 years ago now.
I'm just realizing, because that feels like yesterday for me too.
Yeah,
it was such a big win.
Exactly right. And, she said many things during her speech, but what really stuck with me was what she said about, the little boys and girls who are watching her that night is, it's a beacon of hope for so many kids. It's all about possibility and, looking at somebody who looks like me and thinking maybe I can be her one day.
Yeah. I mean, we just talked about Halle Berry's win back in 2002, just women of color just not having a fair chance at the Oscars. I mean, this has resulted in Oscars so white, right? The hashtag, and the fact that it's actually amounting to something is really exciting. It was not just about Asian representation. I think Michelle Yeoh also had something to say about women feeling a certain way after a certain age.
She said, ladies, don't ever let anyone tell you you are past your prime. And
Mic drop.
Yes. And she looks so beautiful too, doesn't she?
Really did.
Yeah. Ki Huy Kwan was named Best Supporting Actor for his role in the film. He has become the first Vietnamese-born actor to win an Oscar, and he was super tearful. Like from the moment he jumped up from his seat, hugs from everybody. He bounced up the stage, and he said, "Mom, I just won an Oscar." And there's something about, when a grown-up man, says,
on an Oscar stage.
Yeah, on an Oscar stage, I won. And, this is an American dream come true for him, right?
Yeah.
And as somebody who grew up watching Indiana Jones, I remember watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in Sri Lanka. Oh, wow. Back in the early 80s, where the film was, the movie was filmed in Sri Lanka, right? And to see Ki Huy Kwan, Harrison Ford, and Steven Spielberg together after 30 years, it's so special and emotional as a fan,
and they've all aged so gracefully.
Yes.
And so to see that, it's beautiful.
Yep.
And it feels like a full circle. There were a lot of emotional moments at this year's Oscars. And frankly speaking, this is at a time when the Oscars needed a little push for higher ratings. I mean, people were asking questions like, do we really need a 3-hour award show anymore? Given, I don't know, streaming, YouTube, you get the gist. Okay, it's definitely worth noting that it was a big win for the community. It was the first time multiple Asian actors won Oscars in the same year.
Yeah.
Sandra Oh on her feed, giving the winners a standing ovation, tearful eyes.
Yes.
It's everything. There was definitely a sense of, for any Asian actors, directors, just anyone in the industry, it's a win for the community.
That's right. But it wasn't just the Asians. Jamie Lee Curtis has been in this industry for decades, right? And she was named Best Supporting Actress for her performance. And it was her first ever Oscar nomination. And she paid tribute to both the film and the people in her life. And she was super teary as well, you know? And then we have to mention the Daniels. Writer, directors, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. They're only the third duo ever to win the Oscar for Best Director.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And they took the stage and they dedicated it to, you know, people perhaps who need just as much representation.
Like the drag community, for example, and immigrants, you know.
See, Oscars can stay relevant. Just have to keep up with the times. And I got to say, I can't remember the last time I watched these speeches like tearful. Not even Parasite. I didn't cry. I just thought, finally.
Same.
This was different, guys. The thing is, Oscars is trying to do everything to stay relevant, exciting, including but not limited to a new carpet.
Yes. I can't believe so many people are talking about
funny, isn't
a
it?
carpet. Yes. So the one thing that was sort of guaranteed to surprise viewers was, somebody's creative decision not to have a red carpet this year. But they had a champagne-colored runner instead.
Which is aesthetically pleasing, yes, but the red carpet is iconic. And I might add, champagne color is much, much, much more difficult to dry clean.
Yeah, I know.
All right. There's always something to criticize at the Oscars.
Always.
It's a live show. Things happen unexpectedly. Like we mentioned at the beginning of this segment last year was the whole Will Smith debacle. This year, it's carpet.
Yeah. This is the first time since 1961 that the famous Oscars red carpet has not been red. Which was one of the many big changes made for this year's ceremony. There was a new dress code. I'll mention that a little bit later on. And the addition of an Academy Award crisis team. I think this is sort of to address what happened
last year
and to prevent similar things from happening.
I hear the Oscar committee, the crisis team was pretty adamant about even the host not cracking any jokes about the slap, although there were jokes made.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy Kimmel joked about it briefly. You know, he said, I think the decision to go with a champagne carpet rather than a red carpet shows how confident we are that no blood will be shed. Yeah. So
he's clever.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the carpet. In an interview with the Associated Press shortly after the carpet was unrolled, the team who came up with this idea for a champagne-colored carpet said, we chose this beautiful sienna saffron color that evokes the sunset because this is the sunset before the golden hour. However, this change, it was a big headache for organizers for obvious reasons that even we could have foreseen, like, dirtied patches. People are wearing shoes. They're not, in their bare feet. So obviously,
should we have carpet specific shoes now? So Carrie now 2 shoes to the Oscars. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, the carpet got dirty very quickly, basically. However, some enjoy the change. Not sure if she was trying to be nice, but Oscar nominee Angela Bassett said, quote, "The carpet is different. I don't mind it. It goes with what I'm wearing in a nice way."
Well, that's graceful. Yeah. But I mean, like you said, the obvious headaches, it gets dirty really fast. Folks online, they always have an opinion,
they
don't
had
we?
A field day.
Why wouldn't they? Carpet. It's just, just at a distance. I mean, I can think of 20 different colors that could have been a better choice than champagne. Or, I'm sorry, they named it beautiful sienna and saffron color. That is not what I see.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody wrote, I hate the white carpet. They wrote white carpet, not champagne carpet. It makes everything look like a hotel conference room. Somebody said, everyone wearing dresses the exact same color as the carpet, being mad as hell is extremely delightful. There was a lot of white dresses.
White gowns I saw. Yeah. Cream white, it doesn't matter because now you blend with the carpet and that's never a good thing.
Yeah, it doesn't look good in photographs.
It took years for, I think, stylists to figure out what looks good on a red carpet. Now they got to reconvene.
Anyways, in addition to changes like the champagne carpet, other additions implemented by the new carpet team include an updated dress code for staffers, the press, and also the publicists. So the rules were revealed earlier in the week through emails that were sent out that said that there are design elements in place meant to highlight our nominees and guests. Therefore, everyone not on camera needs to abide by the new dress code of dark blue or black.
I mean, most of the staff members are known to wear black.
Yes.
So I think that's a big change. It's funny because what if they said everyone dress in champagne, blend with the carpet?
But they actually put it down on papers. Like everybody who are not actors or nominees, please wear something that is not white or other colors.
Dark blue or black. Leave it there for now. Who knew that carpet can cause such a conversation? Dare I say it's just a carpet?
This is why I love doing this segment.
Social media minute. It's hilarious what becomes buzzworthy.
Yep.
So carpet is your key word out of the Oscars for 2023. Yeah. On to our final story. Erica, I never show up on things on time, but I was here when this happened. I was at the Paris Opera Ballet's announcement and I had no idea what was happening because it is rare. It is rare that they do it in front of a Korean audience. Yeah. For one, Paris Opera Ballet hasn't been back in the country for 30 years.
Yep, that's right. So it was a momentous, evening, I guess.
For me, it was a daytime.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a daytime. I'm not quite sure if they did it again for the evening's performance.
Oh, they probably didn't then. Right. They don't announce it twice. So it's, during the day. It was a momentous day. So what we're talking about is that the Paris Opera Ballet has appointed Guillaume Diop to its highest etoile title, and it's the first time a black dancer has reached the top rank of honor, reserved for just a handful of dancers in the company's 354-year history.
Even if you don't know anything about the ballet, just know that that's really long.
Yeah, so director Jose Martinez made the announcement on stage, which Lena got to see.
It was so exciting. Guys.
Yeah, after Diop's performance as the lead in Giselle at the LG Art Center in Seoul on Saturday afternoon. Oh, there we go, Saturday afternoon. And the 23-year-old dancer joined the Korea tour when the troupe's etoile dancer Hugo Marchand sustained an injury before the company departed for Korea.
I mean, there's a whole story there too. Yep. Okay, tell us more about this ballerina because honestly, I've seen a lot of ballet dances and a lot of performances by different companies, and this ballerina stuck like really, really stands out. I mean, the title is Giselle.
Yep.
The focus is on the female principal dancers, and then this day, it was all about him.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit more about him. Diop was born in Paris to a Senegalese father and a French mother. He joined the Paris Opera Ballet in 2018, and since then, he has danced in several etoile roles with lead performances in Don Quixote, La Bayadère, and Romeo and Juliet, and he was promoted to sujet, or a soloist, in November of last year.
That's pretty recent.
Exactly. And he achieved the top rank without having gone through the premier dancer stage for several years, which is usually the case. And he said on his Instagram, "It's hard to find the words to match the emotion I feel. Thank you, Martinez and Nee, from the bottom of my heart for the trust you placed in me." And he thanked his parents, of course.
It was so emotional. And I'm not part of the Paris Opera Ballet.
Tell me about it. So how was the vibe?
Atmosphere?
I noticed that everyone was like super erupted in like this applause. Everyone was cheering the moment it was announced.
The thing is, it was a 2 p.m. show, which usually draws a certain crowd. There are a lot of aspiring Korean ballerinas, young dancers, and clearly people in the audience were invested in seeing this ballet. And so the eruption of applause was something I'd never seen before. And that in itself was so emotional for me. Do you guys ever cry when you hear an entire audience applause together?
A lot.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel so silly, like, well, why am I crying?
You're swept up in the moment too, right?
It's a lot of emotion, and that room just erupted with it, and clearly the applause went on for like 15 minutes. It didn't stop.
Amazing.
Just for some of our listeners who has no idea what an etoile is, how many etoiles does the Paris Opera Ballet have?
Well, there are currently 18, including Korean dancer Park Se-eun, who became the first Asian to be given the title back in 2021.
It's special. It is literally star status. and not everyone gets to have it.
Etoile literally means star.
Yep. Look at that. It was a glorious moment.
Yay.
And I never show up for things on time, so this was exciting.
Oh.
Thank you very much,
Pleasure.
Erica. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.